Alright, so we left off on just starting a new case. Um, the third case, which, well, let's just get into it.
Grah, you have disgraced me for the last time, Steel Samurai. The pale moon in the sky cries for your blood.
The moon? No, it is you who should gaze upon the moon. What will be the last moon you ever see? See you in hell, evil magistrate.
Walker.
The warrior swords gleam and strike in the moonlight. One has fallen, but who? Only the moon knows. Don't miss next week's exciting episode. The Dark Messenger returns. October 14th, 5:31 p.m. Wright and Company law offices. That is... Would you try to voice them? That is such a rude way for it to start. Like, obviously, when you're just playing and watching it go, it's fine. But, oh well. That rocked.
See you in hell, evil magistrate.
Whoa, stop waving that broom around.
Oh, Nick, I didn't know you were here.
Of course I'm here. What was that surreal show you were watching? Oh no, this is our first turnabout, isn't it?
What? Nick, you mean you don't know the Steel Samurai?
He's only the most popular TV hero for young people. Young? Like, how young? 10 years old? What the heck are you doing getting all excited?
Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17, see? I'm a teen. Not like you, Nick.
Hey, talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24 myself.
Then watch it with me. He's really cool, and it's really popular. When they asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was #1.
I really worry about kids these days.
Gramps. Well, the Steel Samurai's over. I guess it's time to close up the office.
Babies, all of them. Yeah, really. I guess. Wish we had some clients. A month has passed since my trial, which started as Maya's trial. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time, but no one paid any attention to the Wright and Company law offices. How am I going to pay the rent this month?
It'll be okay. I'm sure some big client is just around the corner.
October 16th, 8:14 a.m., Phoenix Wright's bedroom. Hello? This is Phoenix.
Nick,
Maya? What? It's still early.
it's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai got arrested.
Huh? You mean the guy on that show?
Yes, they're saying that the Steel Samurai killed a villain.
Isn't that what he's supposed to do?
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah, on TV.
No, I mean, he actually did it in real life. He skewered a villain with his samurai spear.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Just come to the office, quick. Please, Nick.
You mean that maybe if you took cases that weren't murders, you'd have more work. Yeah. Also, maybe if he was at his company at decent times, like, what lawyer is still sleeping in at like 8 some a.m. in the morning? Oh, I didn't actually say that, did I? It was October sometime, 9:22 a.m. Phoenix Wright Company law offices. Maya's here, watching television. Now for the morning news. The actor Will Powers was arrested yesterday. Powers plays the lead role in the popular kid show, The Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo Tokyo. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays the villain known as the Evil Magistrate. His body was found still inside the Evil Magistrate costume. The samurai spear was also found stuck through the body. Police believe this was the murder weapon and are investigating further. This has to be a joke.
No, 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 it's a nightmare. The Steel Samurai is over. The world is over.
Why are calls for our office going to Maya's cell phone? Which is still cute, don't get me wrong. And I know she said she was going to help out. Ah, whatever.
Yes, rating company law offices.
Call forwarding, I guess. I guess? Can you even do that? It's not like Phoenix Wright was in the alpha. Yeah, this is true.
What? Nick, it's the Steel Samurai.
What?
Yes, yes, of course. We'll be right there. Let's go, Nick.
Go? Go where?
They have the Steel Samurai down in detention.
So what?
So, I decided this will be our first case.
Alright, well, first of all, Maya, did you know we have an attorney's badge? What about this?
You like showing that off, don't you, Nick?
My poor ego. I'm not sure if they, like, maybe put that in after the fact. Because I want to say that it becomes more of a running joke in later installments with the badge. I'm gonna guess because they were like, look, the gamers have spoken, and Phoenix is even doofier than we wrote him. It's a nice day outside. The hotel across the way is always full these days. There's the bellboy, happily cleaning the room. Mia's favorite potted plant. Maya has been watering it so much lately, it looks a little swollen. She's either trying to make it grow, or she's perfecting her water torture technique. That is kind of mean, Phoenix, not gonna lie. A poster of an old movie that Mia liked. I was thinking I should go see it myself. Then I realized that the poster doesn't actually say the title of the movie. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is the thought that I have to read all of these now. Phoenix, I'm pretty sure as a lawyer, you should have at least read some legal books. Mia's desk. Actually, it's my desk now. Sitting here always makes me feel like a professional. Alright, that's everything. Nothing really important, but you know. And similarly, I think this is all gonna be, yeah. So, when you have an assistant, what to do and any ideas are not like, these are not actual prompts, it's just there for the game to kick you in the butt and say, hey, get going. But we'll do it anyways. Well, what should we do?
What should we do? How can you just sit there like that? We have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai.
Does she want to investigate this case, or just do some sightseeing, I wonder? My money's on sightseeing. Which is not helped by Maya immediately doing her, like, smiling, hands together pose. not to go into too much of a tangent on this, but I am playing a little bit of Rebirth. I'm still terribly far behind. I'm still in chapter 2 during the open world bit. But it occurs to me, I think Maya would get along like too well with Aerith. And I think she'd be decent pals with Tifa too. Like, basically, with Tifa, she would just be in the same role as Aerith is when Aerith and Tifa are hanging, you know?
We don't have enough information to make a case yet.
Just admit it. You don't have a clue what happened.
No, we just don't have enough information.
I'd be interested. Like, Phoenix and Cloud would be a weird pair hanging out. Like, I think there's some overlap, but they have a little bit too. I don't know, the energies don't align quite as well. Okay, I examined, I talked, I presented the one thing which was important because it was my badge. Alright, detention center. October 16th, detention center, visitors room. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh.
Is that guy really him?
What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him. Will Powers, our client, that's him.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he definitely did it. Murder, at least once, maybe twice.
Whoa, whoa, what are you saying? What is she saying? I don't. Like, I get he looks a little wild, but. Oh, what is.
Yes?
I arrived at the closest thing to me in Ace Attorney. He looks like a villain instead of a hero, I guess. Ah, a little bit, I guess. I mean, more he looks like he's the adoptive father figure in an anime starring an 8 to 12-year-old girl, possibly with superpowers of some kind, but not always. Oh, something wrong.
No, no. This is getting off to a great start.
I know. You're disappointed, aren't you?
Disappointed? Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, it's okay. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I would never show my face in public until the job was over. It's the kids, you know. I didn't want to wreck their dreams.
Oh.
I guess it didn't matter. So much for dreams. I wonder what they think of the Steel Samurai now. Sniff. Ooh.
Nick.
What?
He's a good guy. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
Well, yes, he is very clearly a good guy. Let's see. Profiles. Maya Fey, age 17, Mia's little sister, currently training to become a spirit medium. Also, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, in this cast of this game, or in this in general, which one would I be closest to? I'm not big enough to be like a Will Powers. I'm kind of on the smaller side. And I'm still a little bit on the slim side. Like, I've still got some stock to me, but I'm not, like, bulked out. Neither here nor there, I guess. Also, hey, Captain. I hope you're feeling better now. I saw you had a migraine coming on earlier. Maya Fey, age 17. Mia's little sister, currently training to become a spirit medium. Miles Edgeworth, age 24,
a gifted prosecutor and a ruthless man who'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Dick Gumshoe, age 30, detective at the local precinct, in charge of the initial investigation. Will Powers, age 20.
Okay. I forgot Will Powers was very young.
The defendant, action star who plays the title role in the Steel Samurai TV show.
Thanks for my defense innocent. We won't talk about that one time. Dimmed all lights, audio low, bearable. Okay. Gumshoe is younger than us. Yeah. I think Gumshoe being younger, like, I kind of tried to breeze past that last time, but yeah. Alright, and we can examine. There's not really much to examine. I think it stays pretty much the same. Smile for the camera. This guard monitors the visitor's room.
He seems frozen in awe of Will Powers.
We gotta let him know we're going to defend him. Here. I see.
Let me guess, this guy wasn't the top student in improv class. Maybe you could start by telling us what happened.
Yes, of course. It seems like it was only yesterday. Actually, it was only yesterday. The cast had come down to Global Studios for a run-through. We went through a few action sequences at 10 o'clock that morning. There was a rehearsal scheduled for 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But when 5 o'clock came around and the staff gathered at the studio, the evil magistrate was found lying in a crumpled heap near the set.
Oof. Like, that is definitely cleaned up to be relatively PG, but in some ways just seeing it as like a whole is more disturbing to me.
They took off his mask and discovered that it was Jack Hammer, dead. He had been expertly skewered with the samurai spear.
The samurai spear?
Yes, it's a long spear that the steel samurai uses as a weapon.
Okay, well, that's what happened. Let's ask about the Steel Samurai.
Maybe you could explain to me just what the Steel Samurai is?
Nick, how could you say such a thing?
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize for my partner. He's new to this and a bit out of touch with the world.
Hey, who's new to this? I mean, Phoenix, you've only done 2 trials so far.
No, it's alright, really. The Steel Samurai is the lead character in a popular kids show. He walks the streets of Neo Tokyo, fighting battle after battle against the evil magistrate and his minions. Of course, he never really defeats the evil magistrate. Although, I guess he did defeat him this time. Wah, wah.
I see. Neo Old Tokyo? What's up with these names?
Things are just more into Super Sentai than Kamen Rider. It's a very Sailor Moon name, too. Yeah. I'm trying to...
They've got a touch on Sentai at one point, right?
Man, for some of these, I've not revisited them in a while. So I'm a little bit rusty and I'm trying to think if...
I know the second game doesn't. The traffic light guys. Is that... No. That wasn't Investigations. Or was it Investigations? God, I only played Investigations like the one time. I'm not as into it as a lot of people were, although I still think it was fine. Old Bag is one of them. It was in the anime, so it's in one of the PW games. They're all Blue Badgers. God, maybe it also comes up in... Oh man, see, this is why sometimes it's nice to revisit these things. I know it's not going to be in this game though, unless I'm really forgetting the last case. Well, let's ask him about his alibi. Now, where were you on the day of the murder?
Well, that morning I came to the studios at 9 o'clock. We worked through some action scenes until noon. Rehearsal was to begin at 5, but I was a little tired.
Is Old Bag, the old lady in the back there, is she meant to be reminiscent of the Scream or whatever that painting is? Like, I'm pretty sure it's probably more coincidental, but at the same time, it feels like they saw they had a shot and they took it. You'd say so? Okay. I'm glad it's just not me, at least.
Rehearsal was to begin at 5 o'clock, but I was a little tired. So after lunch, I took a nap in my dressing room. When I woke up, it was after 5 o'clock. I was late for the rehearsal. I hurried to the studio and found everyone looking shocked. They arrested me on the spot and brought me here.
So he was sleeping the entire afternoon of the murder? Some action hero.
What will the kids think? Sniff.
I think I should probably check out the scene of the murder.
Right. Global Studios. I'll draw you a map.
Wow, Nick, let's go.
I'm willing to bet $10 she asks for autographs. Keep in mind the updated shots for the remaster might have played into that more too. This is true. Because they knew that this would be seen and be on a bigger screen, so. Alright, we can go to Studio, main gate. October 16th, Global Studios, main gate. By the way, I did make some tea, and in my most recent grocery store trip, I actually remembered to get some honey, so hopefully that will help keep me going through this at a decent pace. Do Arian proud? Oh, I don't think I will. Man, good on you for remembering that. Like, now that you've said it, I remember it, but...
Wow, so this is where they make the Steel Samurai show. Awesome. Aren't you excited?
Hey, you there. You want in? You gotta go through me.
Oh, sorry. We're, lawyers.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security. And it's my job to make sure that gawkers like you stay out.
Gawkers?
Gawkers, sightseers, tourists. I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around. Youths today, Something horrible happens, wasting your time in a place. Don't you have jobs you should be doing? Or do lawyers not work like the rest of us? Maybe I should become a little too like a live. At least I was young, things were might different. Mind you, we didn't wear in hippie clothes. Well, youth's coming these days. My own son hasn't called in.
Right. I forgot she was the bane of this. Christ. Fucking old bag.
Nick? Will I grow up to be like her? Please say no.
I don't know. It's possible.
Hey, listen when you're being spoken to. Youths today.
So yeah, about that. That's just because I force other people to help. That's fair. Old bag. Like, it's definitely between Larry Butts and Old Bag, right? For the most consistently annoying, consistently recurring character. And I think Old Bag edges Larry out on account of the investigations game. And who knows if she probably is in the second one too. The security guard station. That security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk in there. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Oh man. You have the old people who are like, they will eschew junk food. Because, you know, back in the day. Then you have the other ones who they've reached the point where they don't care about their bodies anymore. And they know that death will take them whenever it will. So they're just going to eat whatever the hell they want. Which, honestly, good for them. I mean, you shouldn't be super unhealthy with it, obviously. You should still be relatively restrained, but you know, within somewhat reason. The computer that runs the studio security cameras.
Hey, no touching.
Damn, how'd you know I wanted to touch? An overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. I thought there was going to be more there. The main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressing up against the gate. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. I guess... Well, I guess their studios are a little far apart. Like, I feel like in my experience, this would be more like golf carts and the like. But I don't know either. I'm not like, I'm thinking more of like other things, not necessarily like Hollywood-esque stuff. I mean, also like way more costumes and props. Well, it depends on the kind of golf cart. Like, sorry, when I say golf cart, you're probably thinking of like what you would see on an actual like golf course that the bougie people would drive around in and all that stuff. But also, I mean a golf cart in the sense more like, I don't even know what they're usually called, like a gator or something, where they're actually like, you'd see more like a janitor or something with it. But a van still has a lot of carrying space, and also it's outside of the rain, which I think you have to care about a quarter of the time in California/Japan. I don't know which of those. I think Japan gets more rain consistently, but I'm not sure really. Oh wait, before I do anything else, behold my badge.
What's that? You giving that to me?
Absolutely not. Okay, I don't want to mess around with old back. Alright, the studios. So, what do you do here at the studios?
At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true. In fact, in my younger days,
No, you were a star?
only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie.
Wow.
This place has really gone downhill, you know. But 10 years ago, now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then, too, he was.
Hammer?
The victim, dummy. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with.
Alright. Well, let's ask about Mr. Hammer then. What kind of person was Jack Hammer?
What kind of person? Oh, if you only knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series.
Should I have heard of that?
But there was an accident during filming 5 years ago. He got an unlucky break after that, reduced to playing the villain on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry.
We'll ask her about Will Powers. Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers?
He is not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on the silver screen without it, believe me. Little old ladies watching would lose their lunch. That's probably why he thought that the Steel Samurai was his big chance. No one thought he was capable of doing what he did to poor Jack Hammer.
We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty.
Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job.
Well, we'll ask her reason for suspicion. Why are you so certain Mr. Powers is the killer?
I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to the left here. So if you want to go to the studio, you have to pass by me. Only one person went by here between 1 o'clock and 2:30 when the murder took place.
And that person was Mr. Powers?
Yes, I saw him.
But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room.
Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He is no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He is a killer. You can bet your biscuits on it. Isn't it about time for you to be heading home? There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request.
I thought you were suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request, and maybe I'll just let you in.
This lady here thinks she owns this place, obviously. Well, okay then. I guess we have to go back to the detention center.
Oh, hello. How was the studio? They all think I did it, don't they?
No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick?
Right. Not at all. At worst, you're a suspect.
Snoop?
So, about your alibi, Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you?
What? No, I'd never do that.
Earlier, you said that you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch.
Yes, like a baby.
But the security lady says she saw you that day. She says she saw you heading towards the scene of the crime.
What? That's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise.
Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I do this lawyer business, and I need every advantage I can get.
I know, I'm sorry, but I swear to you on my mama's grave, I was sleeping.
Aww. It's kind of rough when you're only 23 years old and your mother's dead. I'm just thinking now, do we know how Phoenix's parents are at all? Did they ever come up? Did they come up in the third game at all? Because I would have to imagine if they do, that would probably be when, because that's when you see Phoenix as a baby. And by baby, I mean he's like in the beginning of college or something.
Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me?
What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. Speaking of the security lady. About the security guard at the main gate to the studio.
Oh, the security lady?
She's terrible. She called me suspicious looking.
Yes, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask, were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs at the studio. Well, let her see you stumble once, and she'll never let up on you.
This game has Child Phoenix, maybe we learn something then. Maybe? I feel like he's focused on school stuff then, but it might come up. No mention is made Phoenix for its civic value other than a passing mention of his mother and the fact that he has no siblings. Yeah, maybe he mentioned something about, like, waiting for his mom or something at school when the thing happens. Which, like, it's not a big deal, I understand. Sometimes when you're writing a character, you don't care about their parents. It's just always funny when you're, like, thinking about them and it comes up because it's such a large component of most people's lives.
She's got some nerve.
Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation?
Of course.
Powers' request added to the court record. Document proving Will Powers' request for an attorney. I just hope this will get me past that security lady. Hey, thanks for this, by the way. Thank you for the letter of request.
Show that to the security lady and she should let you in.
That was a very nothing thing, but you know. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers.
Yes, yes. I recognize the bold, childish scrawl.
Powers' request given to the security lady.
To think he wouldn't trust his fate to youths of such unreliable appearance. Really?
Really?
Anyway, you may pass, but only left from here toward the studios. Now going to the right. That's the employee area. No one allowed inside, pal. Were my instructions. The good detective told me himself.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
There were maps in the security guard station.
Hey, not bad. Alright, says employee, main gate, employee area, gate. Dressing rooms in the employee area, studio 1 and 2 are like that. Okay.
Those are 50 cents a piece, thank you.
Well, time to go, Nick.
50 cents.
Guide map of Global Studios added to the court record. It's a guide map to Global Studios. Well, we can present it to her and have her yell at us about 50 cents. Oh, nope, never mind. She didn't say anything. You say something about my badge now? Nope, okay. Alright, well, we've done everything here. We can now move to outside Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1 entrance. Hey! Oh, wrong letter. Aren't you that Whew, this is gonna be a problem. See here now. Aren't you that murderer from the other day?
Ah, it's that confused detective.
Hey, pal. You know Prosecutor Edgeworth is all upset. So many burbs. Yeah, they're also very weirdly loud. Hey, pal. You know Prosecutor Edgeworth is all upset, and it's your fault. I saw him sipping tea and staring gloomily out the window. So?
Hey, if he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work.
Damn. Maya with the immediate return. Yeah. Yeah, she called you out, Gumshoe.
Detective?
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt.
You're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart.
Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Hey, what exactly are you two doing here?
Well, we're on this case too, pal.
Oh, this is not good. I think in a vacuum, I didn't realize how close I had Maya and Gumshoe both to each other and also to what I ended up giving Old Bag.
See, pal. Huh, hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait. I'd say he's a character, all right.
All right, let's be just Phoenix for my own sake. I'm a little bushed. Maybe I'll take a short rest here.
Hey, good idea, pal.
God damn it, you two. I was just saying whatever.
Detective, aren't you on the case?
Well, yeah, but hey, us detectives get tired of standing around too, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, what's down the path to the left? It looks like a tree fell down over the path.
Oh, yeah, that way is kind of dangerous. You should stay out, pal. There's nothing down there anyway. That's where Studio 2 used to be, they tell me. They don't use it now, though.
What the heck is this thing? The studio mascot? I mean, I know it's supposed to be, it's a cartoon of one of those big nosed. I guess they must be monkeys because it has a tail and the tail is doing things, but I guess it's a monkey of some kind. But what kind of monkey has a nose like that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to Studio 2.
What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted.
Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday, and the head broke off. See, it took that tree down with it too.
Man, I never realized that the implication is that the wind, when it took this thing down, also knocked the tree down. Why the hell is the dumb mascot statue like an actual, like, heavy statue with enough weight to help knock down a tree? I'm just gonna assume it was a coincidence. Welcome.
There's a big welcome sign above the path.
Yeah, apparently the studio's fallen on tough times. They've started letting people in on days they aren't filming. They make a bit of extra money by charging for admissions.
Huh. You sure know a lot about this place, detective. You know, you could always quit being a detective and work here.
Yeah, and with perfect timing, with the studio mascot down for the count. Huh? Just what's that supposed to mean, pal? Hey, there's a camera here. That's a security camera. It takes photos of people going to the studio. All you have to do is look at the data and you can see who went where. There's a number plate on the camera, ST1307. That must be the camera ID number.
Okay, I looked at the bush, I looked at that. That's not actually a thing. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body.
Let's go in and check it out, Nick. Hey, it's locked.
Looks like you need a card key to get in. It makes sense that they would want to keep the non-employees out. Alright, I think that's everything to explore here. So now we can talk to Gumshoe. Wait. Yo, Gumshoe. Detective, see this? This is my attorney's badge.
Uh-huh. Don't you think it's a little sad when you have to explain what your badge means, pal? Real men show their PD badge and that's that.
I'll admit the design of my badge leaves a lot to be desired.
Maybe it should just be a big L for lawyer?
I'm not so sure about that. I'd not actually expect there to be a little dialogue about that. Detective, any ideas about this?
Look, I don't got time to look at every little trinket you got, okay, pal?
Alright then. The investigation. So, how is your investigation going, Detective?
Well, hey, I can't tell you that, pal.
Nick, maybe you need to be a little more indirect with your questions.
Right. So, Detective, mind if I take a look at what you got?
What I got?
The autopsy report. The latest version, if you please.
Right. Sorry about what happened last time, pal.
Autopsy report added to the court record. Jack's autopsy report. Time of death, October 15th at 2:30 p.m. Cause, pierced through the chest by a spear. What do we have? That. Security lady. Oh, we don't even know her name yet. Age? Question marks. Security guard at Global Studios claims she saw Powers heading to the scene. Jack Hammer, age 37. The victim,
a former big-name action star, played the role of the evil magistrate. At least Jack Hammer is older than we are. At least Katie and myself. That said, we are creeping up on him fast. Reason for arrest. Why was Mr. Powers arrested?
Simple, pal. The murder took place right over there in Studio 1. Now, the victim entered Studio 1 at approximately 1 o'clock p.m. At that time, there was no one other than the victim in the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30 p.m.
I always like when Gumshoe makes his eyebrows wiggle around. Like, thinking over there, thinking over there. What am I thinking?
Only one person went to the studio between 1 o'clock and 2:30. And that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate.
Nick, if that's true, anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of evidence. Thanks for cheering me up.
The security lady. About the security lady.
Oh, that sweet old lady. What a charmer.
Huh? Are we talking about the same person?
When I showed her my badge, she gave me a donut and some coffee.
Remember what Powers said. She's a sucker for authority.
She even gave me a piece of valuable evidence.
What?
Decisive evidence. What kind of evidence?
Well, that photo. The photo of the steel samurai heading toward the scene of the crime.
What? Who took that?
See the camera up on that gate, pal?
The gate? You mean the one with the welcome sign?
Yeah, whenever someone walks by, that camera automatically snaps a photo of them.
No! Nick, he has evidence. Finished.
Funny, someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy.
What's wrong, pal? You seem down.
Don't look so happy when you say that.
We'd like to ask the employees here some questions.
Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you like. Of course, you're not going to find any clues I haven't already found. Ha ha ha.
I'm glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves.
Nick, let's go. We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out.
Alright. Do I have to examine? Locked. Need a key card. Can I talk to you about the key card? Can I present? Well, can I at least present the autopsy report? Okay, no, it's the same there. Okay. Oh, we need to steal from old bag. Okay.
Nick, look! That security lady is in the guard station, stuffing her face with donuts.
I guess all cops like their donuts.
Yeah, and they're soft enough she doesn't need teeth to chew them.
Hey, you. Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet?
She had to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Anything else new? No, okay, didn't think so. Yeah, she's probably not gonna say anything about the autopsy report. Photographic proof. Why didn't you tell us about the security photo, man?
Oh, that? I just thought it would be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself.
These things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took that photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see.
Reason for suspicion.
This guard station is in a central position. No matter where you go here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer. He went to the studio just before 1 o'clock p.m. The murder happened right around 2:30, see? The only one I seen go through here between 1 and 2:30 was Powers himself. The security camera got a good look at him, too. If he is not the one what did it, I don't know who is.
Maybe it was you.
Yeah. Good one, Sonny.
She thinks I was joking. Mr. Hammer. Was the victim Mr. Hammer a popular actor?
Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio.
Was. Past tense.
Oh yes, he was great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He shone the brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate. It's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him?
Automatic camera. About the security camera.
Oh, yes, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through that gate, see? Then it snaps a photo. Apparently, it records the time when it takes a picture, too. But I don't bother myself with those details. I just view all the photos on the computer over in the security guard station. I check them every day before going home. I do.
All right. But I need a card to get into. Do I need to ask Will for his? Oh, we can actually go to the employee area. Okay. Interesting. Beat her up. I wish. October 16th, Global Studios employee area.
Nick, this is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hey, look, there's Powers' dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around.
Maya has quite the criminal impulses. Sorry, I was taking a recovery moment from Old Bag. Look at the just high quality of they've taped it up. They don't even. I mean, it's a little bit firmer this way when you tape it like that, but they didn't even do the thing where like you loop the tape on itself, so at least it's not visible. This is signed by the dressing room door. Will Powers. It must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. The door to the dressing room. It's not locked.
Hey, Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir?
What do you mean, find? You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear.
Imposter? Or just C, one imposter. Hey there. Wait, I just started to love this game again recently. I'm kind of doing that right now because it's been ages since I've actually like played one of these. I think maybe a couple years back I probably watched another playthrough. Plus years ago, someone else in this, she's in the chat, she did her own of at least this first game. Good times. Also, I like how we've been told it's the murder weapon, and Maya's like, we should take it home as a souvenir. We don't need a spear. It's the murder weapon, for crying out loud. Those are two separate things. You can't need a spear, but you don't want a murder weapon one. Let's check the trash. Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh. It's so normal. I was expecting some cool theme snacks or something. Popcorn, at least.
Wait, look! Samurai soda. Nick, try this.
Ladies first. Isn't this... The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak.
T-bone steak. That would have hit the spot.
You just had a burger.
Yeah, but I have a second stomach, just for steaks.
What? We don't need a spear. If you had a spear in the office, you might still have a boss. Yeah, really, though. I would bet on Mia being able to take red white if she had a weapon. Mia with a spear versus red white with finger. That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment.
Wow, Nick, you know a lot about the industry.
What else would they keep in a film studio? Alright, I guess we look in the window. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted, so I can't see inside. Alright, well, we'll go into the dressing room. October 16, Global Studios, dressing room. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping. Or at least, this is where he claims he was sleeping.
No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they?
Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth, for his sake. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. Some tea and cookies.
Nick, I'm hungry.
You just had a burger.
Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweets.
How many stomachs does this girl have? Enough.
This must be Powers' bag.
Hey, don't open that.
Look,
An employee card key. That must be Powers'. It says Studio One.
let's take it, Nick.
Borrow it. You mean borrow. Card key added to the court record. Card key for studio employees. Grants entry into Studio One. See, it helps when you have an assistant who has a little bit of a kleptomania problem.
I wonder what else is inside Powers' bag.
Stop that. My partner, the thief in training. That's actually funny when you think about the investigations game. There's a vast array of cosmetics here.
Oh, this is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie.
Nick, try this on.
No.
How can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig?
I, kinda like samurai movies.
Kinda.
That's cute, though.
They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I see my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes.
It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes.
I'd say you were already wearing one myself. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window much. I guess it is kind of dusty outside. Alright, is that everything? Alright, this seems to be everything. But we got a key card, so that's what we needed from here, so. Go to the employee area. Go to the studio main gate. Go to outside Studio 1. Oh, I think I might have to actually examine. Yeah. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body.
Let's go in and check it out, Nick.
I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened.
All right, we're in.
She is way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. I'm glad Gumshoe, standing at attention, sees us walk up with a key card we borrowed and watches us open a door that is locked by a key card and just, he lets it happen. Inside Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1. Oh, is this the beginning of the meme? Does it first start in this case? What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden.
Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real.
Well, the evil magistrate did die here. And the steel samurai killed him. The murder weapon was a samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Are we ready?
Look, a ladder.
That's a step ladder.
So, what's the difference?
You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right. Sorry.
This girl was out there.
Look, sometimes people like to latch onto one really dumb thing because it's funny. And sometimes other people observing that decide, you know what, let's do that too. And thus was born the great ladder versus step ladder conundrum of the Ace Attorney universe.
Hey, look, that's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey Nick, take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone. A real live megaphone. Ready, Nick? Action!
This girl is more troubled than I thought. That's not cool to say, Phoenix. It makes me wonder what that is in Japanese. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, the problem with the degree of localization they do is sometimes it's kind of hard to see where they just replace things because they've just gone so far in the other direction.
Of course, there's times when it shows something that they really have to work around. Like, I didn't remember until you mentioned in, like, I think it was last stream or maybe the stream before that, where they have to make a car out to be a import vehicle. It's like, oh yeah, I guess you would have to do that, wouldn't you?
What's this?
That's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. The assistant holds it during filming.
Huh.
What? Where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment?
Well, lighting is fine, but I'd want to be the director. Or maybe the Steel Samurai.
I think she's being serious.
Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton.
Yeah, so don't touch it.
Whoa, it's heavier than I thought.
Ooh. Hey, you no touching that. I don't know who this is. Is it Old Bag? A voice that I will not define right now says, hey, you no touching that. I forgot you were a character that exists. Penny, okay. Yeah. This bothered me enough to look up the difference between ladders and step ladders. Oh? I don't think I ever actually did that. What is the difference? Sorry, my partner is kind of, you know... Oh, right. This case has a little kid too, doesn't it? Okay. Okay.
You know? No, I don't know.
One is related only by marriage. Good one, Dill. Who are you? What do I want to give you as a voice, Penny? God, I'm already so stretched. I know I can't give you anything southern because of the next case. Stepladders have flat bits instead of rounded rungs and can stand on their own. Oh, really? So by the nature of... Because I always thought that stepladders... Oh, it makes sense, though, because it says step there. Ladders have to be supported by another vertical surface. Oh. See, I always thought with step ladders, there was like a size thing going on there too, but I guess that makes sense. Oh God, sorry, I'm trying to think. I don't want to do that. I guess I could just go like,
Oh me, I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc.
We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers.
Oh, you're WP's people.
also, that's WP is more syllables to say than Will Powers. Stepladder joke even makes it in rain code.
WP? Oh, Will Powers. Whoop, I get it.
I don't envy you guys one bit, but do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent.
Don't worry, leave it to us.
I do like Penny. I think she's kind of cute though.
She's also, I don't know, what would be painful to see Penny as? She's like 21, maybe? Oh, Jesus, she's just 18. Of course she's only 18. Oh. Name, Penny Nichols, assistant at Global Studios in charge of large props and set pieces. I mean, it's fine. Everyone knows that you just get into debt if you go to film school anyways. Just become a gopher on a set instead. But no. Okay, if you could excuse me, Penny, I wasn't done yet.
Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton.
Yeah, so don't touch it.
Whoa, it's heavier than I thought.
Wow. Looks like a backdrop for a stage. This must be used in the Steel Samurai show.
Of course, that's the mountain, Neo Fujiyama.
Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there?
Not old Tokyo, Nick. Neo old Tokyo.
Oh, right. Alright. You may notice that I avoided the big, obvious police outline. They outlined where Jack Hammer's body lay with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few bloodstains. I guess the costume must have absorbed most of it. Or, you know, he didn't die here and the body was left here, but whatever. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Behold, Penny. My badge. Any thoughts about this?
Sorry, I don't really want to think too much about what happened just yet.
Oh, you have anything to say about the guide map? Nope. Jack autopsy. Okay. What about Will Powers' card key? No, okay. The day of the crime. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder?
Yes, I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see.
Only one assistant?
Yes, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now, and yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences.
Oh, I see.
In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Powers' dressing room is.
Oh, that's Phoenix, Christ. They both start with P's. That's probably going to happen more than once, too. The employee area, that's where Powers' dressing room is, right?
Yes, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that.
Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room?
No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private. What kind of a girl do you think I am?
What kind? No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. Oh, sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi.
What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph.
Sorry. I know you're busy.
Not really.
Actually, there's been something bothering me.
Aha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue, a lead.
Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here.
You sensed?
Yes, several times.
Some other studio employees, maybe?
No,
I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside.
Really? Wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed them?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, I don't have any better information than that.
No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot.
So you sensed that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio?
Yes, I think.
I think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony.
Nick, what about that security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them.
Oh, man. Great, let's go talk to Old Bag again. October 16th, Global Studios, Main Gate, Old Bag again.
What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost.
The assistants claim.
What? I saw that suspicious look on your face.
I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times?
Sure as can be.
But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day.
What?
Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am?
Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Eek. Alrighty, you better tell me, and you tell me quick, you spiky-haired cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh?
Uh, we were just talking to the assistant in Studio One.
Her. She's not even a full-time employee. All you youngins are like that nowadays, running your mouth tomorrow saying this, that, other thing. Well, when I was young, I knew a thing or two about respect. Your elders bag of shit that you use today just...
She left.
Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders.
I like how you think, Maya. The computer that runs the studio security cameras.
Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with this computer.
Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Try it. Okay, let's give it a try.
Do you know how to work these things, Nick?
Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see. First, I need date of the murder. Looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. 1 p.m. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Oh, God. I don't remember what it was. That was like half an hour ago. Please enter the number of the security camera. Well, whatever. If we get it wrong, we'll just go again. 3, was it 307, 370, 703? I'll say 370.
There, entered.
Nothing happened.
Huh? Maybe I got the number wrong.
Maybe we should go look at that camera again?
No, Maya, it's okay. This will be faster. $307? Okay.
ST1, 307. There, entered. Hey,
It printed out the data for that day. Let's see what we got. And here we see the beginning of Old Bag being a pain in our booties. How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. Huh? October 15th, 2 p.m. Photo number 2. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day? Nope, that's the only one in the computer. Powers' photo added to the court record. Taken at the gate between the entrance and the studios, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Hey, Nick. Can't we use this photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right. We'll put her in her place. That's what I said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait. Let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Fortunately, in our busted legal system that in no way represents anything in real life because it is satire, we don't actually have to submit evidence beforehand. Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, what do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So, are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady? Oh, I didn't even mention. New to case 3, we actually don't know who the killer is. Like, I mean, I kind of know because I played it before, whatever. But my point is, the game, in the first 2 trials, it would show us, like, an image of the murder happening, so we knew who the killer was. Fortunately, that's kind of to help ease you in a little bit. They actually have some mystery for these later cases. Okay. That took about half my time, so optimistically I can get through the trial. But first, I'm going to take a small break. I'll be right back in a few minutes. Alright, back. October 18th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Wow. Blah, blah, blah. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th...
Also notice this is like the 3rd Edgeworth voice I've given him. This is just gonna be how it is.
The defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony.
Speaking of, before we get too deep into this, at the end of the day, just doing what you can maintain for a long time is best. Alright, no, it's just Penny.
Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. See? Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 o'clock p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? We can skip it. I think I can probably remember that. Yeah, but can the judge probably remember that? Spoilers, the answer is no.
Oh, so the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Samurai spear added to the court record. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim.
Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand.
Oh, I'm sure Edgeworth is not going to regret this.
Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I am afraid I am a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of a trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me. Even when I was young, I was an old bag, so the other children would make fun of me. Believe it? The captain of the chess team, he called me an old hag. And
Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Oh crap. Hey, remember I had that objection counter? Because I didn't until just now. I should really hide that during the investigative parts.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one hell of an old bag.
witness's account.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 o'clock p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 o'clock p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 o'clock p.m.
So up until that time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio.
Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You'd need an employee card key to get in.
Right, card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in.
Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station?
Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning.
A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon?
I had some errands to run that morning.
What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Oh, whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. I just imagine the audible sound of Phoenix just face palming at that moment.
Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station.
Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock.
So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks, not even a second?
Of course, I am a professional, you know. I wear a diaper so I never need to go on toilet breaks. Or are you criticizing how I do my job? Oh, whippersnapper.
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts from the carrot station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper whapper.
Snipper Whapper? Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? Oh man, Maya never does raise an objection herself, does she? I mean, I guess the idea is she doesn't have any actual legal training, but it'd be kind of fun if Maya did at one point just to do it. Maybe she does as a bit later on, I just can't remember it right now.
So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right?
How did you know that?
Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Oh no, Edgeworth, please don't. Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting rat out by a security guard.
Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 o'clock p.m.
2 o'clock, you're sure?
Sure as spit.
But who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might stray in something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
Man, it's so weird to me that this game just like, it even tells you the one to be on. I wonder if that's something they added for this, or if I'm just, in my brain, I don't remember this one being quite as straightforward. I'm thinking of later cases where I would just get stuck on one random thing where I don't understand. The game wants me to zag, and I keep trying to zig. So I've mentioned before that like the music cutting out is really good for that too. Like you hear the objection, the music cutting out, but also the hand slamming effect too. Let me get this straight, old bag, or Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? You're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't.
Like,
Man, poor Edgeworth. Old bag immediately throws him off.
Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
Well, nobody in this course is accusing you of that, Miss Witness.
He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Poor Gumshoe.
Wow, old Wimpag's left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
That's true about your son.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
You, Phoenix. I mean, you do you, man, but...
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Whippersnapper.
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today, it's enough to make an old lady want to cry.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Edgeworth has met his match.
That morning, during the run-through of the action scene,
Who was present at the run-through?
well, let's see. There was Powers, he is the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me,
And what exactly were you doing?
observing, just observing. Hammer's rippling at him.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then.
I saw Powers trip and fall.
Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he is supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her. She was cleaning up
backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
He broke a prop.
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai... The murder weapon!
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. Better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear updated in the court record. The murder weapon, a break in the shaft, has been mended with duct tape.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is...
Where is the steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Maybe we can try to object. It always gets me when you're objecting, but it's not an objection, like he doesn't say objection. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness's account continued. Whew. Taking a drink break. Okay, got about an hour left. I think we're doing okay.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Witness's account continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true?
How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective, and then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking, right.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gates so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure?
The witness has answered the question.
Also, that was an objection.
Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy?
Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. I guess I'll go with this third one. Because it says photo 2 here. I assume this is the case. Honestly, felt like that one could have worked for most, if not all of those. Hold on. Look at this photograph. One more time. And yeah, it's really hard to read the line, look at this photograph, without immediately thinking of Nickelback, and you know, but I've been trying to hold back, because, you know. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sir, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture?
And here, I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 o'clock p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 o'clock p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1, if it really was the only photo?
Order, order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. Security lady herself.
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes. That's what it would seem to mean.
Oh, can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help.
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldback?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I have only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The other person.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do.
Another job?
That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
You back up all the security camera data.
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Really? Oh, okay.
Oh, I think I didn't read her line again. Well, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
Hey, fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? Let's up the objection counter. As Old Bag just makes this first trial go off the rails. I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably second or third grade.
what?
Order, order. Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade.
Oh, yeah, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
More in second or third grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear.
Well, impossible, I think. It's quite clever.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. I should have enough time to get through the rest of this, I think. Because, like, that only took an hour and 8 minutes in game time, but I think Old Bag just ruins all the case very quickly, so. October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. I think I already said that. Good go on me. Mr. Powers,
Yes?
tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good.
Nick?
You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick. It's time. Okay, let's go. I don't know if that's actually being truthful about it.
I'm gonna save just to be safe.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Sniff.
What will now we convene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers? Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty of the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great, as if the stakes weren't high enough. Ooh, it's 2 health bars too.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
So it's Penny, the grade school boy we couldn't even have seen at all, or the security lady. Now, to my great despair, I think we need to throw Old Bag under the bus. But you know what? She has it coming. Because, like, Penny didn't see that Will hurt himself. And who knows? I think they just say the little kid couldn't have used the spear to kill someone, which, I'll be honest, 8 to 10. Yeah, they're not going to be going wild with it, but all you really need to do is to be in the right place at the right time to pull off something like that. The security lady, Your Honor. It was a security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Hell,
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Old Bag.
What? Whippersnapper.
order. Oh, is this true, Old Bag?
Old Bag. That's Miss Old Bag to you.
Miss Old Bag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. This is perhaps one of the peak moments of Phoenix having unwarranted confidence. This is pretty great. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence he's made up?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there. Do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Press further, give Granny a break. No, screw old bag. Throw her under the bus even harder. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Oh, wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased.
Well, he's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Or whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder.
Oh, okay. It's not that. It's not the autopsy report. It's not the guide map. The card key for entry into Studio 1, so the kid's not employed, so everyone have that. Powers photos dragging one leg. I don't think it's the photo. Breaking the shaft has been mended with duct tape. I'm gonna say it's the key card. Okay, thank God. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The Windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Oh, very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name?
Something old bag, Your Honor.
The prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking.
She's too powerful.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk.
This old bag, what was this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
By whom?
Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
This old bag. This is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
So, you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but... content. We'll continue.
They said they had nothing to do with it, see?
Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So, you got your bonus and you still talked. I don't think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. I guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can.
So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day.
So they were actually in the studio?
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
I'll kill this woman, I swear.
I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. Really left him hanging on this one.
But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Them? Who were these people? Oh, is this the same thing? Okay, yeah, it's just the same thing. Okay. Yeah. So I guess what happens is 2 or 5 send you then, and you can just be done.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue this cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but we'll take a break. Your Honor, we've learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Olberg, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned.
See, we threw Old Bag under the bus so hard, she reached out and grabbed other characters we didn't know existed yet and pulled them under to cushion herself. October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Ah, really, it's nothing. She's grinning. Oh, or should I? Sniff. We'll be going down to the sewers to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. Also, look at him smiling here, like, Will looks like just such a nice guy in this image. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses, for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
Well, I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor Old Windbag. I feel kinda sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys. Sniff.
To be continued. Oh, excellent. So, I have about a half hour left. But to be honest, Old Bag is a lot. And I'm pretty sure I think this second investigation day is pretty beefy on its own too, because, I mean, we have 3 other characters we've not even met yet, so they have to be established. I think there is some new evidence to find, because we didn't even really go to Studio 2. Or wait, no, we did. Oh, maybe there's not too much evidence, but either way, I think just with the potential witnesses is a lot. So, I'm going to call it here, call it early. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel like doing this tomorrow, maybe not. We'll play it by ear. This might just be a 1-stream week. But, thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah. I like this case. I actually appreciate, like, sometimes these cases are kind of hit or miss, but I actually don't mind when a case is more like a just self-contained, on its own kind of case. Like, I think this has only the tiniest of connections to the ongoing plot. I think just with, like, character development from... I don't even know if Maya really gets any character development here, and Phoenix might not either. I think Edgeworth might get a little bit. But otherwise, like, this is not really relevant to, like, the main story of this first game. But that's good, too. I feel like it's important in these games, even when they have, like, an overall story. I think it's nice when they have one that it's the characters doing it, but it's kind of unrelated. It helps make them feel more like they actually exist in this world in its own way. Oddly. At least that's how it works for me. But that's, kind of things how I'm feeling now. I need to head off. Again, thanks for hanging out. Good night, everyone.